Hello guys, welcome back for episode 5 of the Weak Spots. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, make sure you guys follow us on Facebook, and make sure you guys follow us on YouTube for more content as it comes out. This week, I am super excited. I am here with one of my beautiful friends, Reanna Jiminez. Oh my gosh, I messed up. Why is it so hard for me? Reanna Jiminez. I said it right the first time. Oh my gosh, I'm a mess. We met back when I used to go to the gym last year. You were working there, and I was like, she's such a beautiful person, the inside and out. And I just love following your journey. And with Lindley, your daughter, you guys are just so beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me today.
I'm excited. Thank you.
You just started, or I don't know if you just started it, but with your being an independent distributor through Herbalife, and you started your own business, Rooted Wellness. Talk about that a little bit and just starting that journey.
So I've always paralleled my mental state with my physical state. It's something kind of like I embedded in myself at a young age. Let's be serious. Let's just hit the topic on trauma real quick. Okay. I feel like every child or adult now at some point had some interaction in their life where they had to cope with things in a way. And so physical fitness was always my cope to get out of whatever I was feeling.
Right.
So I always played sports my entire life. That was my thing. That was my thing to do. And I had an incident about a year ago that was kind of just topped the charts.
Yeah.
Of trauma. Uh-huh. And I can laugh about it now because of the mental state I'm in now. But back then it was not. It really knocked me hard, and I became, really just unrecognizable almost to myself, emotionally, mentally, physically too, because my mental state really played on like what I wanted to do, what I didn't want to do, how I wanted to spend my time. All this stuff, just kind of everything that I once knew about myself and my world around me, just kind of was at a standstill, and I didn't realize it was like that until it continued to be that way. And I said, all right, well, I've like 30 years of this mess, and I think I need some help. So I saw a therapist, and I still see her, and she's amazing. And she helped me realize and distinguish between the two things. And the more I got help from her, the more I became spiritually connected again, the more I felt grounded. I became clear in my mindset, and I realized that I wanted to celebrate what my body can do. And I wanted to celebrate my mental state. I no longer wanted to see athletics as an escape from fear. Like, I wanted to celebrate that I was in that moment and can do that. So, COVID hit.
I know.
Going through all this mess, right? And then COVID hit, and then, I wasn't working because everything happened, and so that kind of all just pressured into this like insane moment for me. And one of my friends from back home, she was doing this 30-day physical challenge, and I was like, Reanna, you need to get up and do something because nobody's gonna fix this for you.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the reality of it, right? Like, we don't want to get ourselves out of the situation. We're not. Mm-hmm. So I got on her 30-day program, and it was exactly what I needed. It was like, Reanna, you're going to work out this day. This is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to eat. We're going to get you back on your nutrition. We're going to build you up. And it was exactly what I needed because I didn't have any of that. And after that, I was like, boom, I have to be able to give that back to other people. Because you don't go through things in life just to go through them and then sit on it.
Right.
You go through it because you have a purpose, and that is connected to your purpose. So now it's like, all right, now what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And boom, Rooted Wellness.
And there you go, Rooted Wellness. And I love it because, first of all, I love that something horrible, or the peak of bad things that you consider happen to you, and I feel like when those things happen to us, sometimes it's really hard to find the reason as to why, especially in the moment. I feel like over time we can look back and say, okay, I understand, but in the moment it's like why you you are, you're like, I'm a good person. Like, why is, what did I do to earn this, this to happen to me? And I feel like on one side of the spectrum, you can easily, become a victim of it and easily let that become your circumstance, become your life and become who you are. And you find your identity in that. And then on the other side, like you did, you're like, you know what, this happened to me. I'm going to see how I can move forward from this. See how, I can grow beautifully from this.
Yes.
And I love it. And I feel like so many people go through so many different things and so many different extremes. And it's literally all about how you get back up from a fall, and it's all in our journey of living life and sharing this experience with each other on this earth. And I really commend you on this thing because it's so beautiful. And I wake up and I see your stories and I'm like, I am ready to take on the day. So it's really an inspiration, honestly.
Oh, I appreciate that. I really do. That's truthfully all I want to do. That's all I want to be.
Yeah, me too. So let's go ahead and get into it. So leading in from that, when did you become serious about your growth of your mindset?
Like I said, that very traumatic state about a year ago. It was one, but I mean, this is like 30 years of suppressed emotions, hurt. I mean, it's so sad. And I don't want to say this to be transparent. It was so sad because at one point, all I could identify myself with because of my surroundings and my environment and the people I was around and the situations that I was put in was death, addiction, abuse, like all these things. And it seemed like it just corrupted and it took a toll on my soul, honestly, because for so many years, it's like I was running away from those things. I didn't want to be those things. I didn't want to be in those situations anymore. I'm running and running and running. And, I'm tired. And that's what happened. I was tired. And the same people I was going to were giving me the same answers. Like you confide in your family or, your friends, but sometimes you still hold things back because you don't want to be judged. You don't want these certain things to happen, And I was tired.
Yeah.
Like, I was tired, and I would look at my daughter, and I knew I wanted to do so much more than those secrets that were just weighing me down because it was just too heavy for me at that point. Like I just couldn't do it anymore. And so I asked for help, and I remember crying. I remember calling my sisters, like I don't know what to do today. And I called, and I straight up I called my doctor and straight up said, I said, I think I'm depressed. Straight up. And I talked to her, and she explained things to me, and she said, you are. You are. And what is so crazy, and I say this because people think that they can't get help where they're in situations and they have to be because they didn't see their parents or somebody, take on the situation differently.
Right.
And it could be just the way you were raised. It can be culturally. I mean, being Mexican, that's like, oh girl, what are you doing? Like, why are you trying to get help? Like, why are you trying to go see a therapist? Like, And I had to break out of that. And I was okay being different, and I was okay breaking that stigma because I needed the help and I wasn't getting it.
Right.
And I remember going to my therapist after like a few weeks of seeing her, and I was like, they put me on medication and everything, trying to help me again. And I remember I went in there and I was just crying, and she was like, why are you crying? And I was like, I didn't realize how much I missed myself.
Wow.
That was so sad to me because I had like just been so far away, unrecognizable to myself. And I just remember being thankful, like, oh my gosh, like this is me. I missed this version of me.
Yes, I love it. Yeah. And you know, it's so crazy that we walk through this life and we know people and we see people, and now, you know, we're in a grocery store, even with a mask on. I love the mask because no one knows who I am. But anyway, you see people and you never know what their story is. You never know what they've gone through. And some people, like, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, Reanna, you don't look like what you've been through, you know? It's so beautiful. And I think, and I can agree with you, and you know, I am 22 years old. I don't have a child. I haven't had as much experience of life as you have, but that still does not validate, you know, what I've been through. I mean, invalidate what I've been through. And I think at one point too, I got to a point where I was just tired of not loving myself.
Yeah.
And I was tired of not being this like boss, you know, and this hero to myself. I was tired of not believing in myself and not knowing my purpose. And I went out and I searched for it. And I think sometimes we get to a point where we just get like over it, you know, and just like over living in that state. And it happens at different times for different people, you know. Some people are able to live their life through that and with that. But one thing I have realized, especially doing this each week with different people, is that the way to heal is to feel. You know, I live by that, because you have to be human. And I come from a very spiritual family as well. And they always say, well, you know, go to God for prayer, or God has you, or, you know, have faith, you know, don't worry about this. And I know that. You know, I know he does, but let me feel human as well. You know, he gave me these feelings, so let me feel them first. And I know that I'm going to be okay in the end, you know, after this is, you know, with time. However, let me feel it. Let me be a human being. And I think that feeling it and not numbing yourself to the pain will, first of all, you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And you really start getting, you know, through it and starting to know how to live life in this new sense of yourself, in a new version of yourself. So I just really love that. And I love that you are, you know, conquering life, you know, through it. And not to say that, you know, bad things won't arise anymore, but we know how to handle a challenge, you know, and we're even stronger when new obstacles are presented to us.
Definitely. I knew I needed to equip myself with tools to combat this throughout my life. Yeah. Because I know, like, my family's not going anywhere.
Right.
You know? Right. And so I needed to find a way to cope with it healthy.
Yeah. Right. And speaking of healthy, how did that growth impact the health of your body? I mean, physically, because I realized that mind and body are somewhat aligned. And
yes, isn't it crazy? It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's crazy though, you know. I mean, when I was at my lowest low, like the beginning of this year, it was like, oh my gosh, even my skin was different, like my hair, like I was not consciously aware of my well-being, you know? So like I wasn't doing anything. My body was hurting because I've always been like someone that's just on the go, physically doing things, challenging myself like all the time. And it was like my body was like in a rut, like it physically hurt. Like my body physically hurt. I was having these like insane migraines. My acne was off the chain, like all over the place. And I was like, what am I doing to myself? You know? And that's what it was. It was like almost self-sabotage. Like, okay, I'm sad.
Yeah.
Now what? You know, like you get to a point and you're like, all right, well, am I done playing the victim, you know? And that's what I mean. Like I was just exhausted. I was like, you know what, girl, you need to get up and you need to do something.
Yeah.
You are so much more than this.
Right.
And so once I started moving my body again, there's this like correlation between like feeling physically strong and mentally strong. They're just like a badass combo. Like start feeling this and you're like, oh dang, you know, like I was walking to the grocery store like, good morning, how you doing? Right. Good morning, you know, like I just wanted I was so excited to be moving and up and just aware of what I was doing. Like, that was huge. And people think like, oh, working out, you're doing something crazy. No, like, it was tough to get off the couch. You know, so taking a walk around the block, that means a lot. Getting out to the grocery store means a lot, you know?
Right, it does. And now I am a gym fanatic. I go every single day for hours. And I would go, and when we met, I would go every day.
Yeah.
But at that time, I wanted to work out. And I was doing good, but I wasn't seeing my results how I wanted to. And I realized, you know, well, Corey, you can't go work out and then go eat cookout, you know? Like, it's like, for what? Like, that just really canceled out your whole, you know, couple of hours of you working out and breaking your back to, you know, look like something, you know? So I realized, you know, that my eating ended up influencing my whole workout, you know, in physical appearance more than working out did, more than being, you know, physical. Yeah. And I think that when I eat better, I feel better, and I found that I feel like, you know, my body, or, you know, your best self is more so revealed in the kitchen than in you know, working out. And I saw this saying that it's built in the gym, but it's revealed in the kitchen.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Of how you prep and make sure your body's getting the proper nutrients it needs. Right.
And I started realizing is I'm eating better. I cut out fried foods. I only eat, you know, like multi-grain bread, and protein is in every meal. And I realized I used to have big migraines as well, and it was actually from food. And the food I was eating, I like spicy food, and so I was using hot sauce and everything. And I cut it out, and I cut so many other things out, and I realized how much more ready I was for the day and for life. And my mindset was better. And like you said earlier, like, literally when your mindset is at 100 and your workouts and your body's at 100, like, it's like you're unstoppable.
Yeah.
Like, you're ready to take on the world. And when I'm working out, I'm like, I gotta get in these reps. Like, I'm in beast mode. Like, I am ready to kill everything in sight.
And your body has the energy and it has the ability to perform at a different level for you.
Yeah.
Because you're fully fueling it, you know,
right,
appropriately. So, yeah, definitely.
I'm getting hot just like in this conversation. It's probably my flannel, but I'm just like, I'm so pumped, honestly. And this is the reason why I have these conversations, because not only is it good for the guest and good for the people that will watch it, but also good for me. Like, it keeps me in this heightened and great mindset of life and keep going. So it's just pouring into each other is great. So how has Herbalife and Rooted Wellness aided in your journey to become spiritually and physically healthy? That kind of touches on a little bit of what you've already said. But I mean, listen, you're doing your own business, you know, and you're making it work in a pandemic. And you are literally being superwoman. So, like, how has it just aided you and helped you in your spiritual?
What's crazy is, I mean, Herbalife's been around for years, right? And people just think like, oh, you're just pushing products, you're another one of this.
Right.
What people don't realize is that, like, I can honestly say, except for the woman that I work for now, she's absolutely amazing at the university. I can honestly say I've never worked for a company, or I've never worked under somebody that has made my personal development a priority over their business.
Wow.
Never have I ever worked for a company like that.
Right.
And when I say that, I mean, like, my mentor, the women that I work with, and the men that I work with, it is all about making sure that you feel and are the best version of yourself. That's it. It's not about selling products. It's not about, oh, I got to hit a number. Oh, I got to do this. It's no. What are you doing for yourself today? What is your personal development? How are you going to achieve your personal development today? How are you going to encourage the other women around you? You know, and if something good comes of that, please share it with somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a completely different mindset. That's insane to know that you are a priority, you know? Yeah. So when I was going through this change, to be supported by people like that, helping me with my physical state, helping me with my mental state. I mean, you get people like checking in, hey girl, how you doing today? Da-da-da. Or dang girl, I seen this. Or hey, can you tell me how you do this? Like, it's a community.
Yeah.
It is this beautiful community of broken people that are trying to be better.
Yeah.
You are not an outcast. No matter who you are not an outcast. And that was, I needed to feel like I belonged somewhere too. You know, like you know, I just moved here not too long ago. So being constantly moving around and not knowing anybody and trying to get comfortable and all this stuff, like it gets lonely. Like, you know, my husband's always gone in the military, so it gets lonely. So I got personal development, I got my physical state, I got my nutrition up, and I got to meet these group of people that truly cared about who I was. Like, that is a huge, huge impact.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with you when you say, you know, I want to belong somewhere and I want to feel like I have a community, and I think that's what everyone wants, no matter if it's with a job or extracurricular activity or within a family, just whatever. I feel like as human beings, we want to feel like we have a community, like we belong somewhere. And it's especially in something like this where it not only makes you feel like you belong, but you are, you know, checking off the box of, you know, mental health and physical health and making sure that you are, you know, keeping, you know, yourself, you know, in somewhat of a positive state for your betterment and for your long-term journey. I think that it's, you know, stuff like that can really go hand in hand and help you in so many different ways of life that you'd even think of or think that it would even have any kind of influence or impact on.
Oh yeah, because the things that I learn, and not just from like the development, but also from other people, like it's applicable to my, you know, in my job. It's applicable to my life. You know, it's helped me manage my time. It's helped me prioritize things. I mean, it's. I can't tell you all the benefits that come up because we'd be here forever. But I mean, like it's so impactful and it's crazy. So whenever people just write off Herbalife, I'm like, look, let me tell you something, okay? Have you really encountered though?
Right. Yeah.
Something you've heard. You know, because I mean, I'm sure it depends on the person too.
Right.
But for me, I'm like, no, we're gonna have a one-on-one. We're gonna talk. You're gonna tell me what you need soulfully. You're gonna tell me what you're trying to accomplish physically. You know, and we're gonna build this plan specifically for you. You know, and it includes nutrition. It's the workout plan. It's the spiritual. It's the personal development. All that, and I wanted to create that for a person because for me, trying to go to all these different places was a lot. When you put me down, like I want to be a one-stop shop for somebody.
Nice. And in that whole thing, and with you doing this, how, you know, has that served as a push, you know, and has that in combination with something else served as a push to keep you motivated and keep you going in your whole journey now with that, and where you are now mindset wise a year from, you know, back then when this all really started for you?
I'm motivated to not go back to that place.
Ooh! I'm loving that. That's a gem. I love it.
You know, because like I said, sometimes we kind of create these barriers for ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want that anymore. Like I said, I've ran for so long that right now I feel like I just like tried so hard to break out of this, and now I'm like, oh Lordy, that was close. Never going back. You know, like I don't want to. So that motivates me, and being a positive example for my daughter, because my mom endured these things in very different ways than I know the best that she could.
Yeah.
But that did hurt the woman that I am. Maybe not the child, but the woman that I am.
Yeah.
The decisions I make now or the way I perceive things is a little skewed because I don't know the difference, you know? So I want to be someone that's that's positive for my daughter. And I really like rooted wellness. Like it comes from like being rooted in our environments, you know, because you are your environment. So it's rooted in your environment. It's rooted in your surroundings. It's rooted in your family, your culture, you know, and I want to create generational health for my daughter, you know, and for my family, because someone has to be the one that's like, hey, you guys, 40, 50 years, this shit's still not working. Let's
Right. That's so true.
And it starts with making healthy choices and practices, and it's really hard, you know, but you have to want to get out of it, and I do.
Yeah. Yeah, great. Oh my gosh. Reanna, we need to talk forever because it's crazy. Like I have these people in my life that I know so well, and I feel like we would relate and like we can really level. And you're one of those people. I'm like, we're kind of here. So
vibing.
Vibing. Yes. That was so quick, and I wanted to last longer, but we'll have our conversation off camera and everything. But before we go, you have a surprise. I have a surprise as well, that we're going to be doing a Rooted Wellness giveaway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is amazing. This is my first giveaway on the week. So I'm really excited about it and excited to see who's going to win, how this whole thing is going to work. Tell us what is in the giveaway. What's in the prize? What are people winning?
So I know you guys always see my energy pump. Like that is my go-to. It doesn't matter what you're doing. So I definitely want to share that with you guys. So I'm going to make sure that you guys get the tea that I'm always hooting and hollering and raving about, and the aloe vera. And I'm going to make sure you guys get a special Rooted Wellness cup as well, and some other little swag in there. But we're going to kickstart this journey for you. Like, Let's go. Let's do this. We're ready. Yeah. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready too. So for one lucky Weak Spot watcher and soon to be Rooted Wellness customer client, protege, you could win everything that Reanna had just listed for this giveaway. The way you can enter in is you have to follow the Weak Spots on Instagram, follow _Reanna_Lynn on Instagram, and also comment below if you're watching on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, what your wellness goal is. We want to know. We want to get you there. Reanna does. I do. You should want it for yourself too. So go ahead and enter in. I want to enter as well. No, I'm not going to enter. No, but go ahead and enter in. You guys don't want to miss this great opportunity. Reanna, again, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been so great.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So just so you guys know, if you guys want to keep seeing more content from myself, make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you guys follow us on Instagram and like our page on Facebook. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you again. Bye.